How do Lutes feel about Kentucky's Kim Davis? We get an inside look. Want to see how Lute football is shaping up? Mast TV goes inside a practice. Gossip hound Taryn Warden gives us a recap of summer entertainment news. All that and more next at News at 9. Hello Lutes, and welcome to PLU's student news show, News at 9. I'm Roselle Rosales. A team of Rwandan debaters were welcomed to campus this past Monday. The four-person team, made up of college and high school students, spent 2 days sitting in on classes and sharing their story.
I knew about the Rwandan genocide, kind of the stats, but I didn't know like the nitty-gritty, like personal experiences or anything like that. So being able to hear from people who experienced it, people who have to live right after that, it's a great thing.
And then it's so apt that this happens to be the International Day of Peace, September 21st. So my day started with welcoming the Chinese delegation at the Chinese Reconciliation Park this morning, and then to finish the day with this great debate from Rwanda.
I think that them coming here for PLU helps us to be a more well-rounded campus globally, and just allows us to open our minds to different perspectives and different countries in the world.
It's been a great experience. We have had time to interact with so many people, starting from the president of the university and down to everybody else. So our time here has been fantastic, and we've just had an event, and it was well attended. And to tell you the truth, even ourselves, we never get used to having that kind of, events. It's always very powerful because of not only the impact that it will have for people listening, but also to us. It's immense, and it's very tense. But we love that the love and the care that we have had from the community here, the student and
PLU was the second stop for the iDebate Rwanda team. The debate was sponsored by the Kurt Mayer Endowment for Holocaust and Genocide Studies. If a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? Who knows, but at PLU, it definitely doesn't go unnoticed.
I think it might be unnecessary, and it kind of just takes away from the beauty of campus.
I'm sad that they cut down all the trees. I was really sad when they cut down the ones, especially by Ordal, the cherry trees. And I know they have signs up for why, but it would be nice to sort of get a bigger reason why, I guess. It just makes me sad. I really like them, especially the ones in Red Square too.
Unfortunately, in some cases there may be a misconception on why a tree is removed on campus. And we only remove trees, the majority of the reasons for a safety issue. We had a Gary Oak fail on Hinderley Hill early last summer, and we had several honey locusts in this Red Square area that we took down. And we always have a plan as far as what we're going to replace those trees with, because we do understand the campus is very important. The trees are a very important part of the campus, so we always have a plan, and there's always a reason. Very beautiful campus, and the people here do a great job with what they have, keeping things to a high standard. I think it's really the Pacific Northwest has some really grand trees here, some really unique environment where trees are just huge, and it's a very nice area to work.
Let us know what you think of all the tree removal on campus by tweeting us at Mast Media, and check out the article tomorrow in the Mast. The U.S. House of Representatives made waves last week when they passed a bill to defund Planned Parenthood. People on both the right and the left had much to say, including Lutz. Here's what a few had to say.
You know, voting to get rid of that, it's really disheartening. It's like, what is this world coming to? It's a big part, and we still need it.
I agree with defunding Planned Parenthood, because I don't believe that it's right to be able to sell baby parts on like a black market. Aborted babies are babies. They are human beings. They are alive, and that's not morally okay in my book.
I don't agree. I think that it should be around because it's one of the resources that actually helps people. And I know like a few girls who go to Planned Parenthood to get birth control because their medical insurance doesn't cover it. So I feel like that's a bad thing.
I actually haven't been following that as much as I probably should. But I mean, in my eyes, Planned Parenthood does a lot of good things.
But the focus became on conservative religious beliefs and didn't take in the full scope of what Planned Parenthood does.
Honestly, I don't care because I don't know too much about it.
So the number one reason I advocate for keeping Planned Parenthood open is for low-income people who can't afford to do any other thing otherwise.
I guess, like, it's messed up because the people who are voting on this don't understand I don't think have a context behind the people who use the services.
As of last night, the Senate has blocked the bill. This is considered a win for those that stand with PP. Be sure to brush up on your knowledge on this complex story by checking out how to sound smart in tomorrow's Mast. In other reproductive news, junior Ariel Winters is headed to the UN after winning a reproductive rights video contest. Here is her winning video.
225 million. Does that number mean anything to you? No? Well, remember it. It'll become much more than a number for you very soon. Hi, my name is Ariel. I'm 20 and live in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. I've always been taught that I'm important, unique, and worthy of the best things in life. My parents empowered me and my little sister to follow our dreams, and because of this upbringing, I now study what I'm passionate about at university and travel the world. My dreams only continue to grow. But what does this have to do with that number, 225 million? Well, in short, there are over 225 million girls and women globally who may never get to pursue their dreams like I have, all because of a problem of access. These girls and women do not have universal access to reproductive health care, and each of them has their own unique story for what this means. For some, it means falling into a cycle of poverty, where an education and higher income must be sacrificed to raise children. For some, it means a high-risk pregnancy, resulting in the death of one's child or oneself. For many, it means a woman's full potential is never reached. This is not just a concern for women of developing countries. It's an issue for anyone who cares about environmental sustainability, social justice, and poverty alleviation. It's an issue for anyone who knows what it's like to be empowered and have control of your life. All girls and women should be allowed to experience this. Find out more and join the conversation.
Ariel will head off to the UN as part of the Why We Care Youth. She will travel to New York next week as one of the 3 selected winners. Congratulations, Ariel. As reproductive issues are craning up, same-sex marriage remains in the conversation. Kim Davis is a county clerk in Rowan County, Kentucky. She recently went viral for denying a same-sex marriage certificate. As an elected official, she still has her position until a popular vote is called. Should she be recalled? Is what she did wrong? Here's what Lutz had to say.
The problem with what she's doing here isn't so much that she holds personal beliefs that are against, people of the LGBT community being able to get married, because as much as I may disagree with that opinion, it's something that I'm not going to be able to change. But the fact that she is sworn in as a county clerk and state law says that she has to sign marriage certificates for gay couples, and yet she refuses to do so is the problem. There's not so much an issue with her prioritizing her religious beliefs over her job, but if she wants to do that, then she should step down from her position instead of refusing to do her job while staying in office.
What she does in her workplace doesn't affect her personal life, and I think that just because she doesn't agree with a certain view that the government has passed, that she has the right to not allow people to get married.
I think that the question, the individual isn't flawed, more as the system. I believe that it's not quite her. I don't think a lot of blame should be placed on her. I feel that there should be a system in place to deal with that kind of situation. There should be someone there who it doesn't conflict with their values or their issues to follow.
It's important to also take into context that, like, this is her opinion. I think that there are such things as maybe ill-informed opinions or maybe judging opinions. However, I think it's important to not use certain language that can be really distancing from people instead of trying to engage them on the subject at hand.
Davis continues to draw national attention. Look for Carly Stouffer's take on the issue in the opinion section of the Mast tomorrow. All right, stay tuned, Lutz. Up next, we have Arts and Culture with Kellen Westering after this commercial break.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
To get in the way before it happens.
To get a friend home safe.
And to not blame the victim.
It's on us.
To look out for each other.
To
not look the other way.
It's on us to stand up.
To step in.
To take responsibility.
It's on us, all of us,
to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
You talking to me?
Are you talking to me?
Hi folks, my name is Kellen Westring, and this is Everything Arts and Culture. If you have social media, you most likely have seen that this week was New York Fashion Week. Some trends that the Lutes are loving are the bucket hat, the towel dress, big jackets, and more. Grab an issue of the Mast on Friday to see collections featured on the runway and discover how you can take a dress from the runway to the Hinderly Toga party and look like the next Cara Delevingne. The Women's Center will be hosting a gender reconciliation workshop from September 25th to the 27th. This workshop is designed to talk about issues surrounding gender, gender identity, and learn from one another's opinions and experiences. Stay tuned for the update on what was discussed and what ideas will be brought back to PLU. And for more information about future events with the Women's Center, check out plu.edu/Women's Center. Now let's take a look at Taryn's take, Everything Pop and Culture, from summer 2015, including Lady Gaga, American Horror Story, and more. Take it away, Taryn.
It's been a while since our last report, but we're back. I'm Taryn Warden, and this is Everything Pop Culture you need to know about summer 2015. In television news, former Olympian and Keeping Up with the Kardashian star Bruce Jenner debuted his transition to Caitlyn on the cover of Vanity Fair. E! Then premiered Caitlyn's new show, I Am Kate, that documented the life and the struggles after transition. I Am Kate aired Sundays in the summer with repeat episodes airing all the time now. American Horror Story filmed their 5th season, subtitled Hotel. Hotel is set at the mysterious and gruesome Hotel Cortez in Los Angeles. Lady Gaga is this season's star, acting as the Countess, which is the fashion and art-obsessive, blood-sucking owner of the hotel. Season 5 premieres October 7th on Fox. In music news, Lady Gaga also released a surprise single last week called Till It Happens to You. Gaga's song is a powerful ballad with an accompanying powerful music video about on-campus sexual assault in partnership with the documentary The Hunting Ground. Till It Happens to You is available on iTunes now, and proceeds will benefit organizations that help victims of sexual assault. Lana Del Rey also just released her 3rd studio album, Honeymoon, last week, premiering multiple singles throughout the summer. Selena Gomez announced the release of her new album, Revival, out October 8th, and Demi Lovato announced the release of her album, Confident, out October 16th, that'll feature her summer hit, Cool for the Summer. Justin Bieber finally announced his comeback album, set to be released November 13th. He has not yet revealed the album name, but 2 singles are out now. And last but not least, my favorite man in music, Zayn Malik, left the boy band One Direction abruptly during their tour and then ended his engagement with Perry Edwards of the girl group Little Mix. One Direction toured without Zayn and then announced that after their next album, album number 5, the boys will be taking a 1-year minimum hiatus, and I don't expect them to return to the band. In love and relationship news, Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck announced their divorce after 10 years of marriage. The couple has 3 children together, Violet, Serafina, and Samuel. Since their announcement, there has been tons of speculation about their nanny, with reports claiming an affair between her and Ben. But we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. Jennifer Aniston tied the knot with Justin Theroux on August 5th at their Bel Air mansion. Justin is known best for his work as a director and screenplay writer for hits like Tropic Thunder and Iron Man 2. And last, Kourtney Kardashian finally said goodbye to Scott Disick after reports of him cheating in Paris. Together, they have 3 children, Mason, Penelope, and Rain. Their relationship has never really been stable, and watching Scott's addiction and downward spiral on Keeping Up with the Kardashians showed viewers exactly why they had to break up. The upcoming shows in our area of Seattle and Tacoma include The Voice contestant Melanie Martinez on October 4th, Tovlo of Stay High on October 7th, and YouTube comedian Miranda Sings on October 17th. A full list of shows and concerts is available on the Terrence Take Twitter, as well as hundreds of other stories, so be sure to follow us at Terrence Take. That's all for now. We'll be on the air the 3rd Wednesday of every month. And now, an exclusive Terrence Take closing word from the incredible French DJ Madian.
Okay, hey, I'm Madian, and I was asked to give you, a person watching, my best piece of advice. My best piece of advice is to really be into what you're doing and find something you want to do that you're really into and then do it, because everything's so much easier if you're really into what you're doing. It's kind of vague, but it's also kind of true.
Thank you, Taryn. Today we have a special guest on our show, Sarah Hubert. Sarah Hubert is the student director of this year's Night of Musical Theater. Hello, Sarah. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for joining us today. Before we get started, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I am a
It's on
senior.
us.
I'm a theater major, music and French double minor, and I'm from Woodinville, Washington, which is like 20 minutes out of Seattle.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
And how did you get started with theater?
Okay, so when I was in kindergarten, I was in my school's production of the Three Piggy Opera, and I was the first person who got to use the microphone, so I just was like a sign, I guess, that I just had to pursue theater. But I don't know, my mom just kind of got me to do camps and community theater after that, and it just sort of stuck. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And how long have you been involved in theater at PLU?
So since my first year, I actually missed the involvement fair because I was talking to someone and I just kind of like lost track of time. But so I just went over to the theater office, which used to be on Park, and I just like walked up and asked what was going on. So I auditioned for NOMT, or Night of Musical Theater, and then I actually didn't get in. And then I auditioned for Our Town and did get in. So
Awesome. God's got a plan.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. So for those of us that don't know what Night of Musical Theater is, can you explain it to us, for those of us that don't know quite what exactly it is?
So it started like a couple decades ago as just sort of this idea that we have a lot of music at PLU and we have a lot of theater, but we don't have a lot of musical theater. And so a bunch of students just got together and decided to produce a cabaret style show at the end of October, and it's just kind of been a tradition ever since. So every year there's a theme, and yeah, it's just
Awesome.
a little show. Yeah.
There you go. Now, how did you get involved in this particular theater, the Night of Musical Theater?
So, like I said, I auditioned my first year and I didn't get in, but I started house managing, so I like sold tickets and that kind of thing. And then I just was watching it every night and like, wow, this is just a really cool thing. Like, I want to do this. So the next year, I just kind of watched some more rehearsals. I wasn't able to do it because I was in a different show, and just sort of got to know the process a little bit more. And then last year, I was finally in it, actually.
Nice.
And then, yeah, I just submitted. There's a submission process and got accepted. And so, yeah, here I am.
Hard work pays off.
Yeah, I guess.
That's awesome. Determination. If you had to narrow your favorite memory down of Night of Musical Theater, narrow it down to one memory, what would you say your favorite one is so far?
Well, this year, we actually started rehearsals just this last Sunday, but there was an electricity problem, so we were in the dark. We had like our cell phones, and my wonderful cast were such good sports about it. It was like literally having a slumber party with a bunch of theater people. Also, it was 9:30 at night because it was like the only time we would get everyone together. But it was just fun. It was like a kind of weird but cool way to start off the whole process.
You guys come together in a weird way.
Exactly,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So
now, if you had to narrow your favorite thing that you were looking forward to this year in Night of Musical Theater, the one thing you're looking forward to most, what would you say?
I think it's just kind of to see how the audience receives it. Because what we're doing this year, there's always kind of a theme. What we're doing this year is we're taking songs from shows that I love and then kind of reformatting them and putting them in context that you wouldn't normally see them, or having them done by people who wouldn't normally do the songs. And so I'm just kind of excited to see people's reactions, especially people who are familiar with the songs themselves, to kind of get to see like what their take is on it.
Awesome. Hopefully the lights will be on.
Yeah, really.
That's
Seriously.
Awesome. And when is the show this year?
It's October 29th, 30th, and 31st at 7:30 in Karen Hilly Phillips.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah, for coming out
tonight.
Thank you.
This was really great.
Awesome. It's great to get the insight. For more information about Night of Musical Theater, check out PLU's Communication and Theater page. That is everything arts and culture tonight. Thank you, Lutz. Up next is Dylan and Kara with your sports talk.
That's low. That's low. Look, he's blushing.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
To get in the way before it happens.
To get a friend home safe.
And to not blame the victim.
It's on us.
To look out for each other.
To
not look the other way.
It's on us to stand up.
To step in.
To take responsibility.
It's on us, all of us,
to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
You talking to me?
Are you talking to me?
Welcome back to News at 9. I'm Dylan Foreman.
And I'm Kara Gillespie. Let's get started.
After a disappointing loss to Whitworth on Friday, women's volleyball bounced back by defeating Whitman in 3 sets the following night. This weekend, the Lutes will head down to Oregon to take on conference opponents Lewis and Clark and Pacific.
Women's golf pulled off a huge comeback when they rallied from 3 strokes down late to win the Pacific Fall Invite Sunday afternoon. This marked the first tournament win for the Lutes in 10 years, and their second round score of 327 was their second lowest total ever.
Men's soccer looked dominant in both of the games as they opened conference play last weekend. The Lutes defeated George Fox 2-0 on Saturday afternoon as Diego Aceves knocked in a goal in each half. They followed that up on Sunday afternoon with a 5-1 victory over Pacific as they outshot the visitors 26-3.
Women's soccer suffered their first loss of the season Saturday afternoon as Willamette scored off of a penalty kick early in the second half and then added another goal late to beat the Lutes, 2-0. However, the team bounced back on Sunday with the help of 2 penalty kicks from Kelly White to defeat Lewis and Clark 3-1.
After taking the weekend off, Lutes football will be back in action for their home opener against Trinity this Saturday. Here's what Lute footballers have to say in anticipation.
You have a lot of young guys who haven't had a whole ton of experience before, but the thing about PLU is the systems are always, the rollover is great. The year in, year out, the next year guys, I don't know, are they going to be as good? And the way the coaches coach, they could be other places, but they choose to be here. And it's they coach really well. And so when the guys buy into the program and they buy into the systems, you have guys who haven't even touched a PLU field before who are playing 2 Saturdays ago that looked like they've been playing for a long time.
Yeah, a lot of people talk about getting nervous before games, and we always talk about keeping our butterflies in formation, which means, just being excited and a little nervous, but stay focused and, have that slow burn to where you're not too excited 2 hours before the game. You're perfect excitement, perfect level of, physical attributions, things like that, right as the game starts.
Man, I'm just feeling excited. I just can't wait to play at Sparks. I played at Sparks my whole career. I went to Ferrucci and Puyallup. I went to Elmwood Ridge and Puyallup. So I played here like my whole football career. So I'm just so excited just to continue my career at Sparks, and I'm just excited for this my last year playing football, just to be playing at Sparks. I'm just super excited to be with my guys. So.
Well, we got to continue playing a faceless opponent. Now, what that means for us is that we're not focusing on them. We're glad they're there. We're playing the game of football. We wouldn't be able to play without them. But we're focusing on being our own best self and playing the best game we can possibly play as our unit and making the plays that we know we can play and not worrying about the things that they're going to do. Because if we focus on ourselves and do the best that we can, normally you end up with a win that way.
The game will kick off at Sparks Stadium at 1 p.m. this Saturday. If you can't make it to the game, you can follow along online at plu.edu/studentmedia/laser.
That's all for tonight. Make sure to tweet us your thoughts to @PLU Mast.
See you next week. Thanks for watching.